Friends, let's see what happens when an MSME receives the worksheet. How do they download? How do they save? How do they share? So let me start with the demo. The worksheet will be received by the MSME either in the via email. So there would be an attachment like this, which when they will click, they could save it. They could open it, but they can also save it. So let's assume they're saving it. So they save it. Let's say they save it to a separate drive, and it saves there as a worksheet. Alternatively, they could also receive it in their WhatsApp or any other methodology. Again, when they download, they could download it, and then again it would ask them to save. Here there is it saves as all files star. It doesn't save as .html. So here is a little thing. Either we save it and then rename it as HTML, or maybe we can rename it with the suffix .html here. So either way, we will see that we have the MSMEs would have received the worksheet. Now when they go to wherever they would have saved the worksheet as, in our case it has saved over here, we will see that either in the two scenarios they would have got this worksheet. So when they will open the worksheet, say when they double click on the worksheet, it will open over here, and the first thing they will see is this banner which talks about data and how the backup has to be taken, how confidentiality has to be maintained, and how raw data has to be exported. This is a scenario where in case they forget their password, there is no way to retrieve a password or to retrieve the data. So if they forget the password, then unfortunately they'll have to input the data manually, remember it and input again. Or if they would have saved it as a CSV or a JSON data, then maybe we can import it and recreate the worksheet for them. But once the password is lost, it is lost forever. So having come going further, they would accept it and the sheet will open for them. Now the sheet will open with this homepage, and we could discuss this homepage later. But on the top, we'll see there is these FAQs which talks about insolvency frameworks, signs of insolvency, and other FAQs that we can think of. Business information, so master data, SWOT analysis, ownership details, assets, claims, litigation, and guarantees. Eligibility. So here, soon after here, we talk about whether they are eligible for an IBC pre-pack or a RBI resolution. So their checklist, so they can start making up their mind whether they want to go further. If they find themselves eligible, they could start filling resolution plan, which essentially is what problems do you have and what solutions do you propose? How are you ready to restructure your company? What concessions are you looking for? In financials, we ask them to fill balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow. Then the sheet will automatically do a ratio analysis for them, and typically again 4 type of ratios. Process checklist. Now this is a separate type of checklist. After the eligibility, they can then go ahead and look into whether and be prepared for what is in for them so far as the process is concerned. Of course, this is the MSME Sahyog, which talks about project and warriors and super warriors, etc., and some legal stuff. So let's go over it. FAQs, again, it's just going through what are the different FAQs that are there. Signs of insolvency, again, they can just go through the signs. Business information, master data. So we say, all right, just give us your master data here. So they could actually start filling it manually, or better still, we could just ask them to go to the site of Ministry of Corporate Affairs and then select whatever data shows up here. What was it? LAWAGES, and do a submit. So they'll get some kind of data, and then they could simply do a copy paste from here, which is good enough for us. So they could actually just copy paste this data and save company master data. This is critical to, this button is essential to be for saving. So that's it. And immediately the moment there is some extra data, this tick checkbox which talks about save changes becomes red, meaning now there is a data and which needs to be saved. So every time you make a change in the sheet intermittently, you'll be asked to save data and you could click. Now, where would the data be stored, saved? It will download a new sheet, a copy of the sheet with, so we started with MSME worksheet demo. Now it says MSME worksheet demo 1, and we could save it. So now we have a copy of the data, the sheet with this additional data saved with us. Now we can see it by opening it separately in a separate tab, and we will see that in the business information in the master data that we have the data already saved with us. So this is how the saving takes place. The saver mechanism, there is no database, there is no online, it just keeps saving sheet after sheet after sheet as backup. That way you'll have multiple sheets so that you can go back to an old sheet just in case you lose data or something happens, to the sheet. Then we ask them to do a SWOT analysis, which is a simple thing. Please tell us what your strengths, weaknesses, threats are, and what is to be filled or what is to be assumed. They could go here, and once they say show me, of course this will get renamed as show SWOT analysis information, and then they could read up over here what do we mean by SWOT, and then depending upon these questions they could then start filling over here, and then say this could be strength 1, and then strength 2, and likewise they could start filling. It's a very simple to do sort of a thing, right? And such. Having done so, again you will see that this will become red. You need not save it every time. You can keep it, you can keep filling the sheet and save it once as and when you require to save. Of course you can hide the other information. So that's all with the SWOT analysis. Likewise for ownership detail, promoters and directors and shareholders and partners, again they can see what are we talking about. Of course this information has to be changed, but we are essentially asking them to give us DIN number, full name, description, email, etc. And then of course they could start with the name of the promoter, so name / or whatever, comma, whatever you want, and you could give a DIN number and you could give an address, whatever. So again it's a free form. We are not giving them a form with rigid information, with any type of mandatory content or anything like that. We're just leaving it open for them to do whatever they feel like. And that's all with the master information. We have the master data, we've done a SWOT analysis, we got the ownership detail, and then again over here they can save the sheet, and then it'll again save it as demo 2. So now we know it's a demo 2 sheet. Now they could, this demo 2 sheet and this sheet is the same, so they could click here or they could continue working in this sheet. For assets, again you go to assets, it says land, building, plant, machinery, same thing. Again we can ask them, we can show them some information. Of course this information is subject to further modification, and I'd like everybody to pitch in and help us determine what relevant information should be given so that MSMEs can fill this sheet more meaningfully. Having filled the assets such as this, they could then go ahead and fill in their claims. Of course financial, trade creditors, governments, and again we could talk about who's a financial creditor, who's an operational creditor, and we should refrain from giving too much of legalese as it is here. We're talking about various sections, and we can simplify this information. And then so over here they could talk about, say, HDFC Bank, and then they could say we have about 50 lakhs to be given out to them. Likewise all the others. Then comes litigation, which talks about what are the type of cases, what are the cases that are going on. Guarantees, what personal and corporate guarantees have been given, and over here we can sort of give explanation, what is a guarantee, what is a corporate guarantee. and then they could say, we have given a personal guarantee of such and such to. So let them write whatever they feel like. We are not, at this moment, we are not being very particular about how the data is delivered, as long as all the relevant data is added to the sheet. So personal guarantee, so PG1 by promoter 1 for, I don't know, 25 lakhs, etc. So a very simple thing. And just in case they want to change it, now you can't change this data. You can this is for our purposes to make sure that we can that we have digested this information. But if something happens over here, and if they want to change, unfortunately they'll have to hit this delete button here and put in this information again. So it was PG1 by promoter 1, and this time for 34, maybe 34 lakhs. So that's how it is done. Yeah, you can hit you can hit this edit button, and you can actually, sorry, I was wrong, you can actually hit this edit button and you can add more information in case you want to this thing it. And once you're done, then you hit enter, and then it saves. So this is all about assets and liabilities. And as I said again, intermittently you can save changes. But this time, let us say that they want to put now they realize that the information they have started entering becomes a little critical, and they would like to put a password. So they can put a password, and whatever password they want. And they could set password, and now the password is set. As you can see, the padlock shows as locked. It was earlier showing as unlocked. Now if I were to save the sheet, it will save it in the same fashion now as demo 3. But if I were to now open demo 3, so if I were to open demo 3, it will say, sorry, what is the password? So let me close this first sheet, and over here, if I forget password, I am in trouble, because there's nothing anybody can do about it. However, let us say I don't forget, and I go ahead and then I decrypt, and here I am back again. And let's check if all the information is saved. Yes, the way it had we had thought, it is still saving. Strengths and weaknesses, ownership details, it's all showing up in the correct this thing. Assets, land 1, and likewise for everything else. So all the information is being stored. Now they can come to having given this basic information. Now we can still choose to decide whether this information is enough, or do we need to ask them for more. And this is where all of you have to come in and give in more suggestions as to ensure that sufficient information is saved by MSME initially with himself. But when he comes to you with this information, that you will have a good starting point, and less time and effort is wasted in accumulation of this data. Now, in most likelihood, the MSME is going to call us, and it says, what am I supposed to fill here? What do I do here? And then he'll ask so many questions, and really we have to be very conversant with this sheet to be able to answer and help him meaningfully. In eligibility, if he goes to pre-pack checklist, he'll say, all right, are you classified? Do you fall within the category? Do you have you had a minimum default of 10 lakhs? And have you whether you're undergoing PRP for last 3 years? If they have undergone? Now they can sort of do this checklist, and then they can always check it back. It's not that it's something permanent. You can always click it back, and it goes back and forth. And if you click on this link, you could actually open this. It says you're supposed to have a minimum default, and we can give some more explanation over here. So and over here, what you see underneath this are the notes that are opened. So each one of them is like a separate note, and each of these notes that are opened, internally the system sees them as open. You could jump straight to that, whatever you open. and you can close them also. So you can close them one by one over here, or you can close them all these crosses, 4 cross over here, so you can actually close, so all of them goes away. But then you can always go back and then open new notes. Then assuming that they have gone past the eligibility checklist and they are okay with it, they go to resolution plan, where they talk about what problems and solutions are they talking about. Likewise, what are the causes of stress and proposed remedies, and then over here they'll say, all right, diversion of funds is one reason, strong legal action by against defaulters, political interference, lack of supervision, loan. So a lot of information can be given over here, and I said again, all this is subject to change, and I'm still working on details of what is to be told to them, which should be enough in simple language so for them to understand. And they could say cause 1, so cause 1, and then they could also say proposed remedy. This is what they would want a haircut, the haircut from FCs, okay, to the extent to for up to maybe 50% or something. So that is up to them to figure out, and then we will then go and we'll be able to have a meaningful discussion whether it's enough and whether it's really going to solve the problem for them. Likewise, restructuring proposal. So financial restructuring, equity, debt, operationally, what are the planning stages? This is where they could put in new technologies, other changes to the operations that they would make. Management, because banks are going to insist that if the existing management and ownership needs to be restructured and new management has to come in, etc. And all these information, explanation as to what is to be filled can all come in here. This is again showing the SWOT analysis, which is not right. So this information has to be added. Likewise, they could go to desired concessions from creditors, from the government. What are they looking at? And again, explanations and non-explanations here. So that is so far as the resolution plan. When we go into financials, as I had mentioned earlier, they are supposed to fill in a simple balance sheet. They just click over here in this particular cell, and then they can change the values over here itself, and these values. So they just they do it. They get the CA to do it. They get the junior to do it. Somehow they have to pick up the basics of income statements, financials, your balance sheet, as well as your cash flow statement. So very simple form, but enough for us to start analyzing their system, and the profitability ratio will get automatically calculated. So depending upon what they enter over here in financials, this calculation is automated. It's a simple mathematical calculation, and they could then go ahead and see what are they talking about: gross profit margin, EBITDA margin, operating profit, etc., etc. So we can explain all these various ratios, what they mean, and how they analyzed for them as well to understand. So it's a little bit of knowledge sharing as well, and making them more aware of what how they should be operating their company. And likewise, other type of ratios, leverage ratios, same thing, where different type of the meaning of these ratios, and liquidity and efficiency. So these ratios are very critical because banks want to see these ratios, and these ratios will be now further modified as we get hold of the policy of the bank. So what is the policy of various banks? What ratios are they focusing on? How they want to do it? We could then further go ahead and modify these ratios as required by the bank. Now we can still click here, and we go to process checklist, and over here we say, okay, now that you have come so far, you would like to know how the process is going to continue. And then we will say pre-pack process. Now you have to start talking about declarations and proposals and base resolution plans and information memorandum, and they better be ready with all these things, so that when they come to us, they already know what to expect, and we hit the road running. Likewise, for pre-pack application, they must know that all this is going to be required, so they better plan for it now, and so that they don't they're ready to go ahead with the application. Information memorandum, what is required in the information memorandum, what is the eligibility verification. So a very simple checklist. We are not going in for too much of explanation here, but just bringing to the notice as to what all is going to be required. And that will be it. For MSME Sahyog, again, we talk about Project Sahyog and yeah, more explanation. Mapped warriors can come here, and then the map could come, and then they could start even looking at the warriors right away. And these are the other warriors, the profiles from our website, which of course all this will be changed and updated so that all of us are sort of yeah, known to people as to the MSMEs, as to who should they be going to. Then legal stuff is nothing, the same thing. Data protection, this is the same information as what we saw earlier. And again, it's a reminder of please make sure it's privacy, it's your data. Do not share until you feel safe and confident. And of course, disclaimer saying that we are not going to be responsible just in case something happens. Of course, again, I repeat in English, the legalese here has to be further modified. So so that will be all, friends. In case they want to share a particular information and only that particular information with somebody and no more, they could simply hit the printer button here, and then they could take a printout of yeah. So all these, so when you hit print, it'll print all these four the notes that are open. So if I only want to share this, I'm best closed all of them and open the one that I'm interested in sharing. So for example, I just want to share the balance sheet. I'll open the balance sheet, and then I'll hit this, and then okay, so something is wrong here because it's showing all the information, but you can select what you want to share and what you don't, meaning you can actually close all this out and only decide to share this, in which case you hit print here after deleting the rest, and that is all you can save as PDF or print, and then you can share this. I mean, they can share it. So this is so far as the printer button here is concerned. This padlock we've already discussed. The saving, again I repeat, if I save again, every time it becomes red, it means that there is something to save, and I can then save, and then I can rename it to whatever I want, if not wanting a default naming that Windows offer. I could also, again I repeat, we could also export, and I could export it as a JSON file. So it's just a technical name, everything is like a CSV file, and I could save it as a JSON file, and this will ensure that even if I forget the password over here, then at least with this, if I could open it and show it to you, then there is a way to sort of remake this whole information that has been added, and this information then can be recreated in a fresh worksheet. So that will be it. So what I would like all of you to do is to download this sheet from the WhatsApp group. Make sure you rename it as an HTML if it doesn't automatically renames as HTML by default. Play with the password, make sure it is saving. So how the password is stored, how the saver takes place, how the export takes place, how this home button and cross button information, what is there, what is not there, what more should there be. Let's be ready with all this information, so that tonight when we have our meeting, then we will have something to add to this sheet, because we need to wrap up the sheet so that on the 27th or maybe before that, when we start sending emails or sharing the sheet with MSMEs on various WhatsApp group, that we must be conversant with every aspect of the sheet. So once they save the sheet, and then if we look at this, they will on their saver or their pen drive or wherever, they would have these multiple versions of the sheet, and then they could, so over here if you see, this is at 4:10 p.m, this is at 4:32 p.m, so every time they save, there is a date and timestamp, so they would know which is the latest sheet, and then they could share this sheet again in a similar fashion with you as on a WhatsApp or an email, or maybe they could take a printout and come to you. So howsoever they come to you, so your starting point would be this sheet, which then you'll be able to quickly figure out what needs to be done, and we'll have a good starting point. Now, in case they want you to take it further, there is a separate sheet which is a more evolved, it's a more advanced sheet which is meant for the IPs. Now, this sheet is, as I repeat, is for the MSMEs, but for the IPs, the sheet is more a little more complex. Information is stored in a much different way, and but then that is required for you to actually start building information memorandum or resolution plan for them. So we have a sheet for PIM, we have a for base BRP, base resolution plan, as well as for OTS. So there are other sheets that we can pull all this data from here into the sheet. Then you can add your data to it, and then go to the all this is to make sure that all the data is in different place, and then it is the most effective way to put your with, of course, in the other advanced sheet we will have something like bar charts and pie charts to convince the bankers. So the advanced sheet is essentially banker oriented, where we know exactly what is going on in the banker's mind and what are the things they're looking for, and therefore we show them exactly what they're looking for in order to sort of complete the process to ensure resolution. So that will be all, friends, and I am now going to upload this video as well as this sheet on the WhatsApp group, and please download, play with it, and think that you, as an MSME, what all will go in your mind, what are the issues that will happen, and then also from the IP angle as to what is the other data that is required, and let's take it forward in the meeting tonight, which is going to be at 8 o'clock. So till then, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram.